This is the plaintiff, Michelle Fowler Weiss. She says she bought a horse for her disabled daughter, and the horse she purchased didn't look anything like the picture of the horse the defendant sent her. When the vet arrived, he took one look at the thing and told him the horse's hip was injured. The defendant sold her a lame horse. She refuses to return her deposit and travel expenses, and she's suing the shady woman for $750, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Bethany McCurley. She says the plaintiff responded to an ad for a horse named Lucky and said she wanted it sight unseen. She received the deposit and then sent her the horse. The reason the horse was walking funny was because it was stiff after being in the horse trailer for the 4-hour drive. Even the woman's vet said the horse was simply stiff. The plaintiff's being ridiculous, claiming Lucky is lame because nothing could be further from the truth. She's accused of hoofing it to court.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought a horse for her disabled daughter, and it didn't look anything like the horse in the pictures, and it was injured to boot. But the defendant says the plaintiff agreed to buy Lucky sight unseen. It's the case of my horse is a nightmare.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Michelle Fowler Weiss, you are suing Bethany McCurley for $750, $500 a deposit that you put on a horse, and $250 that you paid for travel expenses. And according to you, the horse was not as advertised. Tell me what happened.
My daughter has been doing barrel racing, so we were on Craigslist
On a
looking.
horse?
Yes.
Okay.
Her horse is currently 17, so we were looking for a younger horse to continue to grow on. So I was looking through the Craigslist ads and looking at a lot of different things when I came upon Bethany's ad.
Okay.
And I read it.
How old's your daughter?
She is 19.
Okay.
And I read through the ad. It had everything that we were looking for.
Do you have the ad?
I do.
May I see it? Okay. So what do you do?
Earlier in March, my daughter had been videotaped on the TV because of her disability in riding.
What's the nature of her disability?
She was born with spina bifida, so she walks with crutches, and she can't just get on a horse like a normal person. She needs a mounting block.
Okay.
So I sent her the video. I'd sent a lot of people through the Craigslist ads. The same video said, okay, your horse sounds awesome. Now, this is the limitations of my daughter. Would your horse fit that? Because we're at, long travel distance. And I'd send it to Bethany as well. And she said, yeah, everything would be fine. So in the pictures show a very strong, stout looking horse similar to the one that she currently has.
Do you have the picture?
And if you go to the next.
Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, our paintings do look like an elephant. That's funny. An elephant with a ball. All right.
So I text messaged her about price and stuff. And so then
at the end of the
I called
day,
her.
you agree as follows, that there's a $500 non-refundable deposit. And that's very clear, right? Those were the terms of the agreement. And then a $250 travel charge because you guys are how far?
We are about half the state, almost half the state
How many
away
hours?
from her. Yeah.
About 4 hours.
Yep.
4-hour drive.
Yep.
All right. Now, how old are you?
17.
17. Okay. So I assume you were involved in all this?
Yes.
Okay. But it's your horse?
Yes.
All right. So the horse is brought over, and what happens?
She gets her out of the trailer. In the photo, she looks very stocky. And she gets out of the trailer and she's thin, a lot thinner than the photos leader. And she looks smaller. But then she gets out and you can see that on her withers, there's...
What are withers?
It's like our shoulder blades.
Just point to where on the horse. Okay, got it.
Shoulder blades for a horse.
Okay.
And so noticed that. And then we led her around, just kind of looking at her and visiting. And if her hips, she has different markings on them. So when you walk, you really can't see that one kind of goes up a little bit higher than the other unless you really watch it. So kind of felt that there was something going on there. So we asked her if she would like to ride her around, got one of our saddles and bit, and Bethany rode her around for a little bit, and then my mom rode her.
Okay, this is your mom?
Yes, she is.
Okay. So you rode her as well?
Yes, I did ride her. Nice mare, easy to get on, but she was a little bit stiff. And when I asked Bethany about that, she thought it was from the trailer ride over.
Trailer ride?
Just her hips were a little bit stiff.
And so how about a vet? Did anybody ever call a vet?
We did.
Okay, tell me about that. What happened there?
I called the vet, and he noted her condition was very bad. He noted
Bad
that.
how? Do you have the vet's
We
report?
do, absolutely.
Bad how?
Bad condition, no hair over the wethers, very thin, bony horse. And
How does that? How do you get no hair on the?
you put a blanket on a horse and you don't take it off for months. And so it rubs. The blanket is hanging down. This is a high point of the horse's back, comes down
Meaning
where
what?
the
That
neck.
the horse had to have been sick or something? Because why would you ever put a blanket on a horse
Oh,
and not take it off? for
in
months?
Western Oregon, because it rains all the time. And it's a protectant for the horse.
Okay.
Out in the cold, if you're not bringing them in every night, it's a protectant. It
Okay.
truly is. But they have to have air. It has to be removed. You have to brush them. You have to check to see what the condition
Okay, what
of the
about
horse
the
is.
actual hip thing that you had said you had noticed? Did the vet speak to that?
Yes, he did. He wasn't sure if the hip was out, what had happened to the mare. He could not get her to raise her leg above a certain degree on the left-hand side.
He said she was lame,
Yes.
and he recommended against purchase. Now this happened.
Yes.
You guys are there when this happened.
Yes,
You've now been
totally.
there. Okay, now I'm asking them. And you've been there how long?
Couple hours, probably.
A couple of hours at the site. All right, and then before the vet came, is it accurate that they were saying, I think that there's a problem with one hip? Like,
They noticed that something was off on her hips.
and did you notice it too?
I noticed that something was different from normal, but I
But
don't.
you felt that it was just the stiffness from
I
the
feel
ride?
she's a long-bodied horse, and she was in a trailer that was a little bit too short where she was standing, and she was tilting her hip wrong in the trailer. So I feel like she might have popped something out when she did that,
Right.
but I don't feel like it was anything lasting.
Would you buy a horse on Craigslist sight unseen without getting it checked out?
Never. It might be a mini horse and you might be a big guy.
Well, you get pictures, but I mean, is that enough that you get pictures and you say, oh, I feel good about the horse?
No, because I don't know if I'm going to really galley up.
Would you ever not have a horse checked out by a vet before buying it?
Never. If I'm spending that much money, I never would.
I mean, it's insanity. It's almost worse than a car not taking it to a mechanic going inside the courtroom.
And as a matter of fact, if I'm reading what the vet report says correctly, the suggestion was that, of course, he suggested don't buy them because we don't know what it is. It might be something temporary, like you're saying. So the suggestion was that you take the horse back with you, that you guys give it, what's Bute? Some kind of anti-inflammatory?
It's like pain anti-inflammatory
Okay,
type thing.
and that a chiropractor see the
Yes.
horse and maybe pop whatever it is back into place. And if it's temporary, then we'll know then,
Yeah.
right? Now, tell me about the discussions. Once the vet says that, does that sound reasonable to you guys? And what happens there between all of you?
Well, we decided to bring the horse home and try a couple things and see if the horse got better.
Right.
And in 2 days of just resting, and we called the chiropractor to have him come out, and he said it would be a good 2 to 3 weeks before he could get out there to see the horse. And we decided to let her rest a few days before doing anything with her. We buted her for about 3 to 4 days. And
You gave her the medication.
yes,
And also massage
yeah, we
and
also
stretching.
did all of that with her. And in a few days, she was just fine.
I want to go to your place. Anti-inflammatories, massage, and stretching, and rest.
Well, that's part of what their own vet recommended. So,
Right, and then what?
She was fine after a few days of just resting. I really do believe it was just a long trailer ride.
Okay. So I'm not understanding. So then did a vet ever clear her at
No.
your place? But if you don't follow the thing you guys agreed to contractually, which is, I'm going to give it the Bute, I'm going to get it a chiropractic adjustment, and then we're going to get a clean bill of health, then why won't you refund her money? If you guys are the ones who didn't follow it. You can't just expect that the other side, who doesn't know you from a hole in the wall, is just going to trust you. The last time they trusted you, it didn't work out well. They're worried you might be trying to sell them a lame horse.
Well, the lady that bought her now had a vet come out. He did a vet check and the horse was 100% sound.
And do you have that vet clean bill of health?
I do not, because they took all of
So
that
now we're
with them.
still, so even I have to trust you that everything was fine. Got it. $750 verdict for the plaintiffs. I'm also going to return the travel expenses. I'm going to tell you why I'm returning the travel expenses. Because if I find that you are the ones who breached the contract, then why should she have to pay for travel expenses for a purchase that she wasn't able to complete thanks to you guys breaching the contract by not following what everyone agreed to there that day? Simple contracts case. I'm glad you were able to resell the horse, and I find in favor of the plaintiffs in this case. Good luck. And
So plaintiff wins this verdict here in court. Step in next to me here. What's your reaction coming out here now?
I think it's wrong because we clearly took the horse to them in good faith. I would not have sold a horse that was bad. This is the first horse we've sold, and there wasn't anything wrong with that little horse. She came home and
legally you didn't fulfill your contract. That's why you lost this case. All right, right around the corner, okay? Follow Officer McIntosh, and you step on in here. You satisfied how the judge rules here for you?
I did.
Yeah. How's the riding going now, huh?
And we found a new horse and we're trying it all over again.
And how's it going? Is it working out all right?
Good, yeah.
She's having fun riding?
She loves to ride, yes.
Okay, good. Over to Harvey.
I got to tell you, this is a truism. When you buy any animal or adopt any animal, take it to a vet and get it checked out before you seal the deal. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.